Hey guys, it's the Staff Sarge bringing you our first operation from Eaton. Like I said, this is one of the other starter planets, so the first few missions... Well, the first mission is a complete piece of piss, to be honest. It's just ambushing a convoy with some armored support.
The governor's intelligence assets have located a semi-regular supply route that the Halloran loyalists are using to move military supplies through the desert west of the capital. For the governor to carry out his separatist agenda, he needs those shipments disrupted. We are being offered full salvage on convoy assets we capture. All in all, a pretty lucrative mission.
Alright, so it's just a convoy with some tanks for escort. Knock out the tanks and you capture all the vehicles. Now, these aren't the mechs that I'm running with. Because of all the salvage I got from the last mission, we got a couple of new toys to play with. First of all, the Argus Hind D. As you can see, it's been rigged out with a fair bit of engine power and a whole bunch of Clanner LRMs. This is going to be our primary fire support mech. So it's gonna, chances are it won't get into the heavy fight, but if it does, it's got those medium lasers there as backup. Now the next one we got is the Bushwhacker. I've actually rigged up two Bushwhackers. First one, you guys want a Cold Dundee, so here it is. It's a fairly fast Bushwhacker with mainly the MRM-20 and the LRM-15. So it's another missile mech. It's got some machine guns for self-defense, but mostly it's just going to be running around, lobbing missiles at whatever, and it's fairly well armored as well. That's Bushwhacker number 1. Bushwhacker number 2 is, someone suggested this. He didn't suggest a name though. He asked for Savannah Tiger, which you have. It's got good speed to keep up with the other mechs. And its weapon systems, it's well armored as well, but its weapon systems is the AC-10 and an LBX-20. AC-10, as I said, is around an 88mm autocannon. The LBX-20 is, well, an AC-20 is around 120 to 130mm cannon. So this is essentially firing canister shots out of a T-90's main gun. It's very, very short range, but it does a shitload of damage. So he asked for this best mech ever to be a ballistic brawler. So that's what we got. But this is not the mech that I'm running in. I'm using the Uzil balls to the walls configuration. Jump jets, max, well not max engine speed, but a little bit higher than normal. And a bunch of heat sinks, max armor, and 2 Clanner ERPPCs. Finally going to be using these guys. These are, honestly, these are the ultimate weapons. They don't require ammunition. They do an insane amount of damage. They've got a range almost a kilometer, which is as far as your radar will go. The only problem is they generate a lot of heat, which is why I've got them in separate fire groups. If I fire them both at once, my mech might not be able to handle it. Even with 9 heat sinks, it's still not going to be able to flush all of that heat. So it's got jump jets, which I generally don't use. I don't really find them to be to a tactical advantage to use them. But you know what? He asked for them, so I'm going to give it a try. So load up everyone with these mechs. One thing I should note is it's only 1.2 million for this mission. It's actually going to cost a lot more. That's not even going to cover our monthly fee, to be honest. So. But we'll see how it goes.
Okay, Spectre Lance, give an operational ready report. We're crossing the line of departure. Enemy contact is imminent.
Beowulf, ready up. Bulldog reporting, ready up. Claymore reports, ready up.
Spectre, this is Castle. Convoy is dead ahead. I'm marking intended intercept as nav point Alpha. Good hunting.
Man, the Uzil's eggs just look wrong. So it's a fairly fast attack group, even though we're running some fairly heavy mechs.
This is mostly a salvage run. Take out the armed vehicles, but leave the rest. The less we blow up, the more we take home. Copy?
Roger.
So mostly you'll just be engaging vedettes, bulldogs, and I think some LRM carriers as well.
Looks like light armor assets, nothing too heavy.
As you can see, we have jump jets. That's what's making that noise in the background. Jump jets are rechargeable, well, jump jets basically. They allow you to make a leap through the air for, you know, a good maybe 100 meters or so, depending on the mech. I don't really find them to be that much of an advantage, but I mean, if you've got hilly terrain like this, it can be useful. You know, you make a leap and then you can fly down onto the enemy, which is kind of what I'm trying to do. And I just got hit from the side there. Oh yeah, there's a couple of guys that my mechs are taking care of. And LRM carrier, nope. The debt which I missed. And the anti-missile system's just earned itself.
Medium tanks moving in from the northeast pass. We'll have to take them out as well. Vanguard armor assets destroyed.
So, complete
I'm
piece of
picking up
piss.
coded signals in the military band. Someone's still out there. Those Myrmidons mount PPCs. They'll punch a hole in your mech if you're not careful. Concentrate fire on the Myrmidons.
Can do.
Spectre, be advised. A squadron of heavy choppers just lifted off from a nearby canyon. ETA, 1 minute.
Roger, Castle. Spectre Lance, initiate partial air watch.
As you can see, ERPPCs are effective sniper weapons, but they're not hit scan like regular lasers. And I'm not too sure how fast what their speed compares to with like Gauss rifles and that. So, you know, against fast-moving targets, they might not be as effective, but against, you know, tanks and VTOLs, they don't really move around all that much. So,
Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
there's not much to say. Not much else to say on this mission. It's supposed to be one of the openers, and I'm running in it with a heavy and 3 of the larger medium mechs. And let's see if I can. Oh. If I was feeling stupid, which is honestly most of the time, I probably could have death from above those choppers.
Air threat.
Death from above is one of the things you can do with a jump jet equipped mech, although I don't know how well it works in Mechwarrior 4.
Convoy, set your heading 350. Stray from that course or broadcast on any frequency and you'll be vaporized. Cooperate and you'll be free to go.
Commander, I'm not sure if the governor will be pleased with our letting loyalists go like that.
We're here for the payday, Castle, not the politics. Get salvage in here and see what we can use. Thermite bomb the rest.
Roger, sir. TAC ops
I don't know why we
preparing for
wouldn't have
salvage
lit up
and
that
recovery.
bulldog. Oh.
As I predicted, sir, a pretty lucrative haul. We recovered a good spread of weapon systems intended for loyalist repair and refit. Be sure to double our unit loadouts in the mech lab and check the free market. If you need to raise money quickly, selling excess chassis and weapons is always a good start.
Okay, so because we were shooting up our Lyrians, which are the Steiners, lost the point with them, but we got some Davion points. And as you'll also notice, mission payment was 1.2 million. The expenses for this cycle and for deploying my forces was 1.5, so I actually made a loss on that mission. But again, have a look at the salvage. We got a pretty good haul there. So, and if I just sell off that large pulse laser, that'll make up the deficit, no problem. And then the rest is profit. So that was operation number 1 on Eaton, which was very, very easy. Some news from Vernka, which will be heading there at some point. So very, very simple mission, especially with the kind of loadout I was running. So, you know what, we might as well jump straight into Merc Alley A. This is the second ambush.
Are continuing to move supplies across the western desert. It's likely that they've stepped up security, but they can't